Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have another Fog of War puzzle. This one is again by FullDeck and missing a few cards. They've done a couple of Fog of Wars recently. I haven't seen them do that previously, although I'm fairly new to this game, so I'm sure they have in pasts. But anyway, it's always fun to first off see a Fog of War puzzle and see a FullDeck and missing a few cards puzzle, because they're always excellent. Now, this one is called Leidenfog. I guess that's a German type of situation there. And actually, I saw this and it pops up on the original thing that they started putting this nice little thing here, where at the very beginning of the rule sets, they tell you what the rule sets are going to be coming, which I think is really cool. It's a nice little detail to put into these things. And I could see this catching on, quite obviously. So anyway, that said, let's take a look at this thing, see what's going on, and see if we can get this thing figured out. So again, it's called Leidenfog by FullDeck and missing a few cards. And we have standard Sudoku, Fog, Dutch Whispers, and Kropki Pairs. So standard rules, every row, every column, every 3x3 box contains digits 1 through 9 once each. Fog, so part of the grid is covered with fog. As correct digits are placed, the fog will clear from surrounding cells. So if we can figure out what this digit is, all of this will clear and we'll get more clues to work with. Then we have Dutch Whispers, so adjacent digits along a Dutch Whispers line must differ by at least 4. We have a Dutch Whisper here, poking its little head out. This digit, whatever it is, these two digits have to be 4 away from it. That's what that is. And then Kropki Pairs, so digits in cells separated by a black dot are a 2-to-1 ratio. We've got a couple of those, so these are 2-to-1, these are 2-to-1, just means that one of them is double the other one. And digits in cells separated by a white dot are consecutive. Not all dots are necessarily given. Well, we can't see a white dot yet, but if there happened to be a white dot between these two cells, those would be consecutive digits. And there is no negative constraint. So that's it. No long introduction or reason to, because the rules are fairly straightforward. Let's get into this thing. Link is in the description below, as always. So it's very nice of FullDeck and missing a few cards to tell us where we need to be looking. Here, I don't think there's anywhere else to look. So we have to figure out what's going on with this grouping of black Kropki dots. Now, we do know a few things off the bat. First off, you can't put 5, 7, or 9 on onto black Kropki dots because you can't double or have them. In this condition, we either have 1, 2, 4, 8, or 3 6s. We can't use the 3, 6 variety because we can't repeat digits. So this is from the 1, 2, 4, 8 grouping. This cannot be the extremes 1 or 8 because then you'd have to repeat digits here. Now, that said, we also have a Dutch Whisper. So this is a low digit. So this is going to have to be a high digit. In fact, it has to be 8, I believe, because the only two digits that are at least 4 apart are 4 and 8. So this is 8, this is 4, this then is 2. And we get a little bit of work going on. Now this one continues our Dutch Whisper. It has to be 4 away from 4, so it's either 8 or 9. Well, it can't be 8, so it's 9. Good start. Let's hope this holds up. What can we do next? Because we've got a bit of information now that's kind of popped out here. Is any of this going to be massively helpful? Let's think about what these digits can be first. So 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. What does that say to us? Does it say anything? These can't be 5. Is that accurate to say? No, it's not. Well, it can't be a 1, 5 pair. No, that's even dumber of me to say. What am I doing? Brain, start working. There's something to do with 1s, 5s, and 9s, and that's kind of a Dutch Whisperism. If we were to have... Yeah, I think that actually is right. Now that I think about it, I gotta clear the cobwebs here. If we put a 5 here, it breaks the puzzle. any of these positions, I think it breaks the puzzle. Because if you put a 5 here, this has to be a 1 or a 9. And it can't be a 9. Well, if you go down to 5, then 2, 1, no, it doesn't break the puzzle. I'm being dumb again. It forces this to be a high digit is all it does. Sugar. I thought I had an in here. So if these are 5s, maybe let's think about it on the other side. I don't know if that does anything. Again, if we have a 5 on either one of these, it forces a 1, which then does force a 2. Then we have to have a high digit here, 6 or 7, to be able to still work with that. And then we have to come back down to a low digit. That seems like it could work, though. So if any of these are 5s, it forces a 1-2 pair into one of these. What is the other thing it does? It forces one of them, the other side, to be a 1-3 pair, which means this would have to be on the higher side. So from 5, 6, or 7. Well, it can't be, no, it can't be 5. It would have to just be 7, actually, right? I'm asking you because I don't have a clue what I'm doing. If let's say, let's remove our options. We said one of these is a 5. So the other one is a 6 or a 7 because we're going down to 1 and we have to come back up again. Now, these can't be 5s. Is it possible? No, these can't be 6 or 7 either. They would just have to be a 1-3 pair. Now, if that's the case, this has to be at least 4 away from 3, which is 7, 8, or 9. We have an 8, 9, so this would have to be 7, and this would have to be 6. Now, this is only in an instance where the 5 is on one of these edges, and we would therefore know that this is just a given of 6 or 7, depending what this is. Now, obviously, I'm not going along with this. This is just rolling down the line a little bit to see if it kills anything. It would leave 3s and 5s out here. Now, it works the same way either way. So this would be like a 1-7, 2-6 type of situation. But that's only if there's a 5 on it. The other way to think about it is if there isn't a 5. So in the 5 solution, this is 7, 6, 1, 2, 7. No, sorry, this would be the 6, this would be the 7. If this is a 5, we end up with a 1-3 pair and a 6-7 pair. The 1-3 pair, again, would have to have a 7 with it. The 6-7 pair would have to have a 1 or a 2. With it. So it's possible this could also come out to be a 2. And if that was... So one of them is 7, 6. The other one would be 1 or 2. So these could also have a 3. Or even a 1 on them, to be honest. And we always have a 5 out here somewhere in one of these two. Now, that is a little bit of a deep dive into the possibilities of all this. We know one of them is a 6-7 pair, and the other one has a 2 in it. Which means these are 1, 3, 5 as options. And those are all of the options we can do at the moment. So, does that in any way, shape, or form have any impact whatsoever on anything else in this puzzle? Let's think. What can this be? A lot of things. In fact, it can be, I think it can be anything except for this couldn't be a 2. And therefore this couldn't be a 1. In terms of what the normal black Kropki digits can be. What use is that? Not 2, not 1. I need to visualize this. So, in one instance, we have a 6, 7 grouping. In the other, we have a 1, 2, or 3. Which I guess would mean, since we know one of these is a 2, we have a 2 here, that one of these has to contain a 2 as well, but I don't know that that's giving us anything of much value. What about how these guys step down into here? Now, there's a lot of opportunities here. But I guess we have to think about it in the terms of what these could be this way. Because again, we said one of these is a 1, 3 pair. The other one is from 5, 6, or 7. And this guy here has to somehow conform to those options. But we don't really know which direction they go, per se. So this could be the 1, this could be the 3, this could be the 7, this could be a 5 kind of thing. So how does that correlate? Only thing we know is we can't use the 2 and the 4 here. So if we were to ever have a 1 here, this is some large digit, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If we were to have a 3, it's looking at 7, 8, 9. The 5 would push a 1 or a 9. The 6 would push the 1 or the 2. Well, it'd be a 1 in the 6's instance. And the 7 would push a 1. But there has to be a way that these things can do this little catty corner type of thing. Because we're talking about this be a 6 or a 7. Let's think about the most extreme situation, I guess, in terms of what these can be. If this is 6 or 7, this has to be a 1. I want to color this for a second. Green is 6 or 7 in our mythical world that we're living in, which means this is from 5, 6, or 7, which means this has to be from 1 or 3. That never works. The opposite is probably going to be true here. If we think about it the other way. If this is a 6 or a 7, this still needs to be a 1, but then this would have to be a 1 or a 3, and it breaks. So these can't be 6s or 7s. This can't ever be a 1. Therefore, there are 6s and 7s up here. We're not getting far, but we're getting somewhere. And I'm going to stick with that. So we know then one of them is a 1-3 pairing, and the other one is a 5. So this is not where the 5 goes. Now, I think we said earlier that the 5 being in here did something. It does, because this has to be a 6 or a 7, because we have the 1-3 pair, whichever side it goes on, and the 5 goes with the 6 or the 7. And then this is the leftover digit. I think I'm going to get rid of the 6-7 numbering there for a second. So, again, one of these is a 1-3, which forces a 7. One of them is a 5 with a 6 or a 7, which has to go with the 1. These can never be 2s. If that's the case, this can never be 3. This can never be 3. So these are a 3-5 pair. These can't be 1s. Those are 2-6 pairs. Okay. I hope this is right, because that took a lot of brain power, and I don't have a lot of brain power. So I'm using up the reserves here. Now, how can we take that further? So we're going to know that one of these is a 1-2 and one of them is a 6-7. Does this throw a wrench into this being a 1-2? I don't think it does. Was there something that we can do to reduce these guys? If this is 7, this is 1 or a 3. If this is 1, this is 5, 6, 7. No, so that does not. Okay. We know this Dutch Whisper goes up here. Is there anything... Because we don't have that same constraint of both of these looking at this. So we know one of them's a 5. The other one's a 1 or a 3. Does that mean this just has to be a 9? Am I just being slow here? One of them is a 1 or a 3. The other one is a 5. This is a 9. That is correct. Googly moogly, that took a while. Okay, that's something. This, now that we have this open, this cannot be from 1, 2, 4, or 8. It is 3, 6. This is 7. These are not 7s. Now we've got more info. This is not 9. What are these digits? They are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 8. This can't be a 5 ever. This can't be a 1 ever. This is an 8. These are not 8s. 8 cannot go with a 5. It's a 1, 5. Okay, somehow we have gotten into this thing. If this is a 4, these have to be from 8s and 9s, because they have to be 4 away from the 4. This has to be 9. This is 8 or 9. Let's keep going. This 8 has to go with a 7. That 7 now must sit next to 1, 2s, and 3s. This can't be a 1. These actually have to be from 2, 3, and 6. Let's put those in for a second, because something might magically appear here. Okay. this digit has to go. We can do either one of these, I guess. I'm not quite seeing. We know one of these is a 7. Let's look at it that way for a second. Is there anything else that has to go down here? No. Is there anything that has to go down here? 4. There must be a 4. And there must be an 8. Octo. So what does that mean? Well, this can't be 8 because we can't put a 9 or a 7 by it. This is 8. This has a 4 on it. It has to be next to an adjacent digit, and it can't have a 3. This is a 4, 5. Oop, what did I just do? Double-clicked. Who cares? These are not 5s. Okay. Okay. We said one of these had to be a 5. This is our 5. That means this is not a 5. In fact, it's a 6. This is a 1, 3 pair. That means this is 2. This is 6. This is 3. Holy heck. Okay. 1, 2, and 7. Can we continue? Let's see. I kind of thought we would get back into this sooner than we have, but that's fine. If this is a... Okay, let's look at this. Maybe we do get into here now. If this is a 4, this has to be 8. If this is 5, we are broken, because we can't put 5 next to any of these numbers. This is 4. This is 5. This 4 now has to sit next to our 8, which has to go with our 4. I thought I got rid of that 7. Okay, now let's continue on. This 4 has to be next to a 9. That 9 has to sit next to a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Can't be 4. Okay, we're going to run out of options there, or places to really go and look at things here. This guy has to be from 1, 2, 3. Do we have some grouping of digits? One of these has to be a 4. Maybe I should be looking across here a little bit more. See if there's anything here. We don't know where this Dutch Whisper goes, so I cannot say that it continues this way. If I could, we'd be able to make some determination here. We can't do that. We do know this digit must be 4 away from 8 or 9, so it's looking at 1, 2, 3, or 4. We are getting close to a quad here. What about you? You have to be high-ish. It could be from 5, 8, or 9. That didn't really do much, did it? Okay. Now, can we figure out what these guys are? Because we said these are 1, 3. Yeah, we can. Okay, so I'm just missing the obviousness here. This is 6. This is 2. This is 1. We can start getting rid of some of this stuff. Good. Now we have more info that we can start doing stuff with. What can we continue on? 8 or 9, 3 or 4. This does not continue through, so we kind of lose a little bit of something there. If this is a 5, this has to be a 9. If it's a 3, it has to be 7 or 8. So we're going to continue putting this information in and hoping it gets us somewhere. What do we have? We don't quite have much going on here. Now, it does look like this does this. We know it goes into here. So if this is 9, 5, 1, or if this is a low digit, it has to at least be 5, 6, or 7 is what we're looking at the moment. This 2 actually says this can't be a 2. Now, if this is a, because we know this comes up here. So if this is a 1, this has to be higher than, well, it has to be higher than 4. It can't be 5, 6, or 7, so it's either 8 or 9. If it's 6 or 7, it has to be in the 1 or 2 or 3 world, but it can't be 1, 3. And it can't be 2. So this is 8 or 9, which means this is 1. Good. This is 5. There we go. This is not 5. We get an 8, 9 pair. We've got 1, 2, 3. We need to have the other 1, 2, 3, whatever one it may be, and the 5. So we're going to have to figure out how to make that work. Ooh. But we are getting somewhere. That's good. This can't be 1. So what else do we have now? We've got the 1, 3 pair. This has to be from 6, 7, 8, 9. That gives us a 6, 7, 8, 9 triple. Let me make sure I got all that right. Yes. So this has to be from 3, 4, or 5. Which means one of these two is a 5. I'll put that in for a second. We have an 8, 9 pair. This has to be from 1, 2, 3, and 5, and it can't be 1, so 2, 3, and 5. Did that sort anything out here? It does not appear to do so. What about any of these other digits? Any of these actually giving me any information? This 8 here does, okay. Did not see that here. This has to be a 3, so this has to be 6. That then has to be a 7. This is 2, this is 1. Now, one of these is a 1. What can these be? They have to be semi-high, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This can't be 5, 8, or 9. This can't be 7, 8, or 9. So it's either 5 or 6. I think we're going to get something going here. This is a 6 or a 7. If this is 6, this is 7. If this is 7, this is 8. 6, 7, 8, 9. We have a quad. Hallelujah. This is a 5. That clears. We know one of these is 9, so these are not 9s, which means this can't be a 5. This is 3, which means that's 4. That's 5. This is working. This is not 5. Keep going, keep going, keep going. One of these two is a 6, but let's look back here because we knew we had the 6, 7, 8, 9 triple plus the 1 and the 5. So this is 2, 3, 4. This can't be 4. This can't be 2. This can't be 3. This is a 3 or a 4, so this has to at least get up to a 7. 7, 8, 9. Not super helpful, but it is what it is. Can we do anything with this guy or this guy? Yes, we can. This is a 5. Excuse me, this has to be 9. Therefore, this is not 9. We actually have a 7, 8 pair here going, which is good. This digit here has to be something lowish. Can't be 1, can't be 2, can't be 3, can't be 5. It has to be a 4. It's the only other option. Good. What next? Looking across the way. I do want to get this guy, so let's look at what these can be. Can't be 1, could be 2, can't be 3, could be 4. In fact, there has to be a 4 over here. Could be 6. This can't be 6. One of these is 4. This cannot be a 4, because this would have to be 8 or 9. Go away. You come here. 4. These have to be from 1, 2, and 6. This can't be 2. Alrighty. Now, what can this do for us? If this is a 2, this has to at least be a 6. It can't be, so it's either, so it'd have to be a 7. It's the only option if this is a 2. If this is a 6, this would have to be a 2. So it's a 2 or a 7, it seems. What about, let's look at Sudoku real quick. Just want to see if there's anything poking its head out. One of these is a 2. One of those is a 2, okay. Let's keep looking here. Because there might be, there we go, good old 3. None of these can be 3s. This is 3. This is 3. This is not 3. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple I didn't see until now. So this is 5. And actually that 3 would have just given it to me. It's too easy that way. We don't like that kind of stuff. Where else? Well, we might as well keep on keeping on, right? We got a lot of 4s. Didn't realize that. Yeah, all it does, though, is give us an X-Wing up here. Not amazing. We get an X-Wing on 5s here as well. Can this be a 5? Let's think about it. It can, because this could be 1 or 9. Stupid. 6s. Yes, this has to be 6. If that's 6, this is 2. This is 2. This is 1. This is 7 or 8, so this has to be 6. Now, 2 gives us 3, gives us 1, gives us 2. We are moving again. This is 1. This is a given 7. This is not 6. Okay. What else? We haven't quite opened up this stuff yet, and our Dutch Whispers don't have much bite left in them. We've got X-Wing on 1s. I think we've got X-Wings on 2s. X-Wings on 3s. X-Wings on 4s. 5s, nothing there. 6s. We get a 5-6 pair here. Does that help us any? It does, because it's going to give us this digit. Yes, so this is 1. It's going to clear up some fog for us. That didn't too much there, did it? But what are these? Or actually, just let's look at what this is, because this one's probably going to be a lot less able to be certain things. So it must be from 2, 3, 8, and 9, and it cannot be 3. And it cannot be 8. But it could be 9, and it could be 2. 5, 9, 6, 2. That didn't quite get it there. Let's continue then on our process. This is just a 6. Didn't see that one. And this again is a 5-6 pair. With the 7-8 pair, we could have done a lot of that prior. Okay, where's a 1 go in this region? Now that I see it all pointed out, this is our 1. That gave me nothing. These have to be from 7, 8, and what? 9. 7, 8, 9. This is 9. This is from 7 or 8. That 9 does give us our 2, which gives us our 6, which gives us our 5, and we are now cruising. This is 4, this is 3, this is 2. We should be able to just finalize all this stuff. And to be honest, when I first started this thing, I didn't think I was going to get through it. So I'm happy about that. 3 or 9. 3 there. This is 9. This is 3. That 9 gives us 8 and 9. And 8 and 7 and 9. And this is 3. This is 7 and 8. I could have just done that with the 7, 8, but that's okay. Again, Why make things easy when we can make them hard? This is 7. These are the last 2 digits. What is this one? It must be an 8. Therefore, this must be a 4. Hey, we got it. Woo! So, that looked dicey there for a little while until we made a little breakthrough. So, you solved the puzzle. Solution is correct. This was a good one. It really took some brain power to get through it, and I'm actually kind of surprised with myself that I did finish this one, considering how things started, but we got there. Once we got moving, though, it cruised, and that was awesome. Things really did fall together. It was just getting after the very initial understanding of what happened, and then figuring out the kind of the sidelines of things. It worked out beautifully. So, hope you all enjoyed this one. I really did love this one, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.